tell me he didn't just say that.
Till the day that I become Hokage, whatever happens, there's no way I'm gonna die!
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Anime, wrestling, comic books and weed. This is the A.W.C.W podcast with your host, the Twisted King Savage.
Smoke weed every day.
What's good, gorgeous? This is your host, the Twisted King Savage, and you are listening to A.W.C.W podcast. Now, today I'm going to be talking about wrestling because it has been a big week in wrestling. If you have not been watching or you've been hiding underneath a rock, WWE has moved Tuesday night SmackDown to Friday nights onto the Fox network. Their, developmental brand is now on USA. It's bumped up from a 1 hour time slot on their network to a 2 hour live show Wednesday nights. That is competing directly against Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling. For those who know, Chris Jericho is their champion. And right now they're in a rehashing of what you can call the Monday Night Wars from back in the day. It's just been moved to Wednesdays. It's very, very interesting watching both of these two companies interact with each other. First, let's start off the show with last week. Now, I watched both AEW and NXT side by side. Well, actually, I need to take it back. I watched AEW first because I was able to cheat up with my TNT app and watch the show live. I have to say this about AEW: they're putting out an amazing product. Like, just off the top, there was a couple of little snafus and little things, but I'll talk more about that later when we talk about week 2. But just the way they started off the show. They started off the show with Sammy Guevara, really talented young cat. I saw a little bit of him in Lucha Underground before this. Amazing high flyer. Some of the things this cat do is just out of this world. Versus he took on Cody. Great match. A lot of back and forth. Meanwhile, because I did notice during these two shows, WWE and AEW purposely place certain matches at certain times in the card. So AEW started off with Guevara versus Rhodes, whereas WWE, moving over to WWE, NXT, they started off with the NXT Championship match between Adam Cole and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle. Great match. Like, when you put both of those matches side by side, Guevara and Rhodes had some good spots, but the intensity was just palpable between Riddle and Cole in that match. They really showed out. Great spots. Like, I'm always a fan for like those moments where, you know, Cole hits Riddle for a big move, Riddle gets right back up and hits him, and they both take each other out. And those remind me kind of like the old school DBZ fights. Like, you hit me, I hit you, we're both taking each other out, we both got to pick our asses up after this beat down. So looking at those two matches, I definitely give the first match of the night to NXT, but I feel that's kind of where NXT starts to go down. They had a great AEW next match after that. They had a great match with MJF and I think some dude named Brandon Cutter. MJF, did his heel tactics, cheated, got the win. It's another building block for what is going to be, the heel turn everybody's going to see coming. I mean, just them teasing it is going to be fun. Next up, I can't remember what was the next NXT match. I mean, that was the thing that was that's killing me about the NXT. It's like a lot of this stuff is forgettable. Like, I can remember almost the whole entire AEW show from my head, but I'm kind of lost at certain points with NXT. The next bit interaction between the two shows, I think it was the Women's Championship match. You had Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler on the NXT side, and you had Rio and Nyla Rose. Great match. Nyla Rose does a phenomenal job as the heel, as being just the bully. Rio does an amazing job fighting back and finding a way to get that victory. It's interesting to see where that's going to go. They're like, this is honestly like one of my earliest, introductions into the women's side of the AEW product. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Was that Britt Baker? I think I remember her watching her on Impact for a quick minute, but I could be wrong. I think that might be Allie I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think that's Allie. But anyway, I'm liking her. I really can't wait to see what more Nyla Rose can do. I mean, I think she's definitely needed in that division, and she plays such an amazing role. Going over to the NXT side with the Shayna Baszler Candice LeRae match, I just wasn't. Only problem with the only problem I have on NXT is like fucking Shayna Baszler's held the title way too long. Like, we know she's not going to lose. They're trying to set up this massive face to take the title from her or something, but they're taking so long to do it. It's just it's just at the point where I can literally just ignore the match and not care, because all I'm going to get is a great match with Candice LeRae, and then she's gonna kick Baylor's ass, and then as always, one fucking wrong move and she puts that sleeper or whatever you want to click, the clutch or whatever, and it's pretty much over. It's so formulaic at this point where I'm not even excited for a Shayna Baszler match. Like, maybe when they get Rhea up there and Rhea challenges, like, that girl Rhea Ripley is something else. I'm not gonna lie. That girl is amazing. I like her look, the attitude. I was watching her on this week's NXT, and that submission when that finisher, oh my god, I've never seen something like that. I truly cannot wait till they put the title on this girl. Moving on. Okay, the last big point of the first night of the Wednesday Night Wars, I'm going to have to say was the main event, which was on the AEW side. The 6-man tag between Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Jericho and LAX. Now, I gotta say, I remember, I say the original LAX. What was it? Homicide and Hernandez. Oh, they were fun. Those were one of the tag teams I really enjoyed watching. Like, I liked that version, and then they went through a change. I kind of watched it on it. I kind of caught bits and pieces of it on Impact or through whatever. But I like these guys, Ortiz and Santana. But I like the look of these cats. Like, they are. I think it's Ortiz. Like, his facial expressions is just so over the top. But yeah, them and Jericho took him on very early in the match. John Moxley shows up, takes Omega out, puts him through a glass table in the back. While watching AEW, I'm getting that old WCW feel, which I'm going to say is not a bad thing. I like the feel, especially with Tony Schiavone being the voice. Him and JR, it just immediately just pushes you back to that era and that style, and it's really good and fun to watch. So that match ends up becoming 3-on-2. Jericho and Ortiz and them worked amazing together. So they beat down the Young Bucks. They end up winning the match. Like, I like that spinning back elbow Jericho's doing. The Judas effect. It's so simple, but it's so effective. Like, it's one of those great moves that he can hit on anyone. It doesn't matter the size of the opponent, speed, nothing. It just shows just how smart, how innovative Chris Jericho is in his career. That he is truly one of the best in the world, in my opinion. To be at this level for this long is a testament to just how amazing this guy is. Now on the NXT side of things, you had the tag team championship match between the Street Profits and the Undisputed Era. It was a really good match. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of the Street Profits. You know, I said Montez Ford there's something really special about that guy. Like, he's just instant charisma. Like, he can just like turn it on like a light. And I love their promos on Raw. I like how the WWE is using them. Like, hey, they're strictly NXT, but they get to hang out on Raw, give some commentary. Just like, they're making their backstage segments a whole lot better. Like, I rather watch the Street Profits than have some ass drone on about how he's gonna beat the crap out of some dude he's been running from. Anyway. At the end of the night, I'm going to have to say AEW won that at the end of the night. Like, they won. Oh yeah, they definitely won with the Nyla Rose Riho match. I think it was way better than Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler, and definitely that last match. Like, just how they tied everything in. And that was, and that's the difference between the NXT side and the AEW side. The AEW is telling a complete story throughout the show, whereas NXT is just a bunch of disjointed stories that's going one way or another wherever they can fit it in. There's nothing right now in NXT tying it in. Like, I like how we started the night with Guevara and Cody, them shaking hands, and then like, I didn't even talk about how they started the show with Jericho beating the crap out of Cody after his match with Guevara. Like, he beat the holy hell out of Cody for a good I think 5 minutes. Like they went through a commercial break during his ass whooping. That's how long Jericho whooped Cody's ass after the match, which was interesting because Sammy Guevara just walked out the ring and just left Cody to get whooped on. So you fast forward to the end of the night where Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana are beating everybody down. Cody comes down, Sammy Guevara comes down. You think he's coming to help Cody turns around, kicks him in the nuts, turns and joins Jericho. So they're beating everybody down. I think Dustin came down, started clearing house. The Young Bucks, they were already taken out. And then you end the night. You think Dustin's going to make the save for the family. Next, out of nowhere, pow! Jack freaking Swagger. Oh, my bad, not Jack Swagger, but Jake Hagar enters the ring and just clears house. Like, this guy I've always been a fan. Even back when he was in WWE, I was even cool with the We the People. Like Jake Hagar was just a beast that I didn't understand why WWE just never could use better. Like they always use a BS line. Like this is the thing that kills me, honestly. They're like, oh well, he's not good on the mic. Brock ain't shit on the mic, but he can fucking be the champion. Why? Because he's fucking 280 pounds, 6'10" or whatever. Just because you're a big motherfucker, I guess you don't have to be able to talk. Whatever. It's like there's ways around it, and sometimes I feel we as fans are now focusing too much on the talking and not enough on the actual wrestling. Like honestly, if you really want a fucking soap opera, go fucking watch a soap opera. I know wrestling has a little bit of a soap opera element. I'm fucking cool with that. Really, I am. But I still want to see competitive wrestling. Like, I don't care how good you talk. If you can't put on a 10-minute match, then why am I watching you? What are you here for? Like, that's just not what I'm looking for. I don't care how good you are on the mic. There's some guys who's good on the mic. There's other guys who's not. But like, to me, at the end of the day, it's like, what can you do between those ropes? Because everybody can talk a good game. I mean, that's to me, honestly, that's probably the easy part. But anyway, I'm getting off subject here. So, where were we? Okay, so at the end of the night, they're all standing. Hagar, LAX, Sammy Guevara, and Cody. It's just standing on top. Got a nice image of them just standing there over the bodies of everyone that they destroyed. Nice way to set up the show. Nice way to let the fans know who's the top guy, what kind of champion Jericho's going to be already, because there was those questions. It's like, this is Cody's company, so he will have the power. Like it had been easy for Cody, the Young Bucks, and Omega just to be this dominant faction running over everybody. So it's a smart play on their part to actually put that on Jericho and put it on these other guys, these outside guys coming to take something. I mean, it's a very basic storyline, but it's a pretty good one, especially with the players, like, because you have interesting elements also that create things. Like, I'm gonna move on to this past week's, and like how this week in AEW they've continued that narrative. Like right now, A guy that we definitely should keep an eye on right now in AEW is Pac. Like, he was doing commentary work during the Darby Allin Jimmy Havoc number one contenders match, and it was a great way of setting up the narrative for the future by saying, you know, I've been for the past 2 years I've only had one loss, you know, why don't I have a championship? Like, I beat the guy who beat the guy, so why aren't I getting the opportunities? Like, Pac is going to be a very interesting character coming up in AEW. You also have this kid Darby Allin. Like, him and Jimmy Havoc put on a great match. And what's the name of his move? The coffin drop. Oh my god! Like, oh my god! Like, that's almost difficult to watch, because it's like waiting for an accident to happen. But yeah, they put on an amazing match, and he's now the number one contender. And this is the theme I'm noticing. They are making sure things are tying together. Now, go back to, I think the first match of the night was the Young Bucks versus this new tag team, Private Party. These guys are amazing. Like, oh my god, they come from what's it? I think it's called HOG, House of something. I can't remember what the G stands for, but I think it's also the same promotion Master P just purchased. Yeah, these guys, their finisher is crazy. It's like this weird Hurricane Rana into a diamond cutter or ace cutter, whatever you want to call it. Like, these cats are amazing, and they beat the Young Bucks to advance in the tag team tournament. So, like, it's another thing I'm noticing AEW is doing is like this. They know the Young Bucks are stars. They know the Young Bucks doesn't need the opportunity. Let somebody else get it. They're making a lot of cool moves that I'm liking. I was talking to one guy, like, the lack of I'll talk about that in a minute. The next match they had was I think it was Moxley versus the chairman, Sean Spears. To me, it's weird. It's like basically Dean Ambrose versus Ty Dillinger. When you would think you would see that match, but it's what a difference a company makes, I guess. Both guys look good. I'm liking the character Sean Spears is playing. Not too sure how you say it. Well, no, I'm talking about Moxley or John Mox. My bad. I'm so used to watching him wrestle in jeans. It's just seeing him in actual wrestling tights is a little off-putting, but I'll get over that. But I like it. He's going real simple, real basic. It's actually fits the mold of what his character is. He ends up beating Sean Spears. I think the next matchup after that was, the tag team match. I think it was like Rio and Britt Baker versus, I think, Sakura and I can't remember the other chick's name. But yeah, look, apparently it's continuation from some drama I didn't see before. But it was a good match overall. I think that was like probably one of the only matches I wasn't too juiced about. Let's see. What other matches were there? Oh yeah, after the Mox Spears match, Kenny Omega came out with a barbed wire baseball bat and a freaking barbed wire broom. Like, for real. So, my man Omega tosses Mox the bat. You know, he keeps the broom, and Pac, who was doing commentary at the time, hits him from behind and just leaves him for Mox. But he doesn't. I guess Mox doesn't want the kill unless he takes the shot. So he just left Omega, which I think which is probably going to set up a. I can see them potentially setting up a triple threat or something between these three. So after that, we move into our main event, which was Hangman Page and Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho. Typical tag team match. Lots of great spots. Jericho and Guevara spent most of the time pretty much getting their ass kicked, but the bad guys pick up the win. Start beating down on Dustin and Page, but then Cody, lights go out. Cody appears, takes out Sammy. The LAX comes out. Then the Young Bucks, and then basically the faces gets the the win over the bad guys. They beat them all up, which was odd because at the end of it, Jericho was just hanging on the outside, kind of talking shit, when out of nowhere, coming down the ramp on the skateboard is Darby Allin. My man jumps off the skateboard and hits Jericho, beats him up, tosses him in the ring. So Darby Allin beats down on Jericho a little bit. The faces are left standing in the ring, and the heels are left to go to the back, licking their wounds. Nice way to end this week's show. Last week the heels were on top. Of course, this week the faces definitely need to show that they can fight back. I think AEW is really coming out the gate hard. Another great show. They fixed a lot of little issues that they had from last week, just some like the technical aspects. I did have an interesting conversation with one guy about the lack of promos. I understand that, but I think right now what AEW is trying to do is I think they're trying to use social media better and getting people hyped for their matches rather than getting them to the show and trying to hype them for a match later on that night. I mean, you've already got them in the basket. Why are you trying to reconvince them for something that's already going to happen? I mean, if you look at what they're doing, like Cody attacking Jericho at what was it New York Comic Con? That alone puts more heat on that match without having to waste TV time, even though they are devoting a lot of the initial angle to the initial time to that. Like, they are devoting a lot of time into hyping up that match, but I can really see why. Oh yeah, also they're also running a AEW Dark. It's dark matches that they're having at these events that didn't make it to TV, but they're putting it on YouTube. I haven't watched the first one yet, but I was told that they're actually using this to advance a couple of storylines and to kind of keep filled in. So I would suggest if you want, check it out. I'm definitely going to be checking out the episode 1. I might even do a review on that afterwards. But moving on to NXT, NXT starts with a Cruiserweight Championship match between Lilo Rush and Drew Gulak. It was a great match. Drew Gulak is phenomenal in the ring. His submissions are crazy. Lilo, he's one of those cats between the ropes. It's almost unreal. Like, that bottom rope bounce stunner he does is like, how the hell are you able to even get up and hit that move like that? I really enjoyed the match. He walks away with the championship. It's great to see where he is at the company, especially after the whole situation with him as Bobby Lashley's manager. It's great to see that he's finally back on the rise. I think WWE just did that partially because they didn't want to lose a talent like him, because I know AEW would have definitely probably picked up a little Rush and put him on with a quickness. Also, I just want to take a minute just to talk about just how freaking amazing Amaro Ronaldo is. Like, this dude, like, some of the hip hop references that he be dropping kill me. It's like, it's things I would not expect to hear from him, and he's always surprising me with the analogies he comes up with. Like, I hope WWE knows that what they have in that guy, because I actually kind of missed him when he was doing New Japan. And no one can say Tope Suicida like him. Like, every time he says it, I fucking love it. Alright. Anyway. Alright. I'm not a big fan of Finn Balor coming back to NXT. I'm sorry. I believe he just muddies up waters that's already kind of muddied. Like, I'd much rather see him come back to Raw. I mean, you would have thought that they might have continued his storyline with Bray, so you can get the Fiend versus the Demon. But I don't know. That might be a WrestleMania way. They might want to build that character more. I don't know. Maybe it will work out for Finn. Maybe now we'll get to see a little bit more of the Demon now that he's back in NXT. I'm not sure, but if he's going to be going up against Cole for the title, and possibly him and Ciampa, they might just bring the Demon out just to raise the ante on that. You had Rhea Ripley take on Aaliyah. This is basically a squash match. Rhea looked good. Like, that finish she has, that, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a reverse sharpshooter that she holds her up to her and then can pick her up and slam her out. Like, and hold the submission. Like, that just makes her look devastating. Like, I cannot wait to see what else this chick can do. I mean, Aaliyah tried to put up a good fight, but she just got squashed. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be the one to take the title off of Blazer at the next takeover. Breezango was also in action. I gotta say, I like these two guys. Like, I like the gimmick. I mean, it's kind of a little bit cheesy, but hey, who cares? You need the joke acts. They're supposed to take on two guys. I can't remember who it was, but they end up getting beat up by the Forgotten Sons, and they took their spot in the match. Forgotten Sons, I guess they're pretty much being set up as, I guess, the future dominant heel tag team, which is cool. Like, I think one of the guys, Riker, I think I remember him from Impact a few years back. Was it next up? It was like that boy Cameron Grimes had a match. Like, I don't know how to feel about this dude. Like, I remember seeing him on Impact a while back ago. In NXT, he has this, what was it, jumping double stomp finisher. Like, okay. I'm sorry. It's strangely, it's one of those weird moves that I don't see how you can. I mean, I can know you can catch somebody with that, but it's just you're allowing me to believe that they can be that quick, that fast. If I know that's your move, why am I putting myself anywhere near? Like, why would I run up to you? Like, it's almost insulting. Like, I would like to see this guy have a match longer than 30 seconds. Like, like, the sad thing is, like, I don't even get his characters. He's supposed to be a cowboy. Yeah, I just don't get this dude. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell that they want. And what's with the hat? Like, is it the fact that they're just doing this just to annoy people? Why they're trying to figure? Is that the whole gimmick? Why they're trying to figure out what this dude is? Like, really? So, after this dude Boa gets beat in like 10 seconds, like, hey, look over there, hit it with the finisher, it's over. Killian Dane comes out and destroys the poor guy that had injury to insult, I guess you can say. Yeah, it's just not one of my, not a segment I really was over the top for. Next match was it Roderick Strong, the North America champ, versus Elijah Swerve. Now, if you don't know who Elijah Swerve is, he used to be a character on Lucha Underground called Killshot. Actually, he was one of my favorite competitors on Lucha Underground. Great match, lots of spots, innovative offense from Elijah Swerve. Roger Strong ends up getting the win after his buddies from the Undisputed Era distracted him and allowing him to pick up the victory. After the match, the Undisputed Era stayed in the ring, and the Velveteen Dream cut a promo on him saying he's going to take the title, and posted a photo that wasn't too flattering for Roderick Strong. I constantly applaud WWE for its amazing storytelling, because, you know, what sells a story better than talking about a man's junk? Like, riveting storytelling, like, just amazing WWE. Not also to waste time, they had Ciampa come out and run off the Undisputed Era with a camouflaged crutch. Don't you love it when wrestlers personalize their weapons? Ciampa, while walking through the back, knocks out some dude named Angel Garcia for talking mess or just because he got in his way. Next up, you had Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. Belair proves why she's the EST, taking out Dakota Kai. That girl is something else. Like, for being so small, she's got some power. finally in the main event, you have Kushida versus Walter. Now, I found it interesting that Walter, with his group Imperium, is nowhere to be found when he enters. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about Walter and Imperium as a whole. I haven't been really watching the NXT UK product. That's one side I have to really start taking a look at more. Actually, I'm hoping to find somebody who's watching that so they can just possibly fill me in, you guys, know what's going on. But like, I see why people are like Walter so much. Like, that dude is he's a beast like Brock Lesnar, but he doesn't have the hype doesn't kill it. Like, he is true. Like, he truly earns the title of being a ring general. Like, the match between him and Kushida was way better than I expected. Like, Kushida did his best to take this dude down, and Walter just fought out and fought through. Like, my man Kushida put that key lock, or was it what do you call the hoverboard, or whatever this was called, off the top rope and hit my man with it, and Walter got out. I like guys like Walter where they can be heels, but they can beat you clean. They don't need to do underhand tactics. They're just that dominant. I love heels like that. Like, that reminds me back of like Randy Orton's heel run when he was on that run for the championship run. Like, he was just RKOing and just laying cats out, no cheap shots, nothing. He was just purely beating you because he was better. I love seeing that from heels. Like, I think at times it's too easy to go with the heel tactics, the heel way to win. No, like, I want my heels to beat you clean, cheat if they have to. After the match, I love how they set up the Imperium, like how they got the guys and they have their names and they stand under their names so you can identify them. That's actually really smart thinking, so you don't forget who these guys are. But yeah, that was a great match between Kushida and Walter. It really shows what a proper match between a big guy and a much smaller competitor. Like, Kushida looked like he took Walter to his limit, and Kushida came out there looking strong. Like, Walter, when he hit that shotgun drop kick, it just looked devastating. Then hitting the power bomb and that ripcord lariat is just three big moves that would take out any competitor. But you can see at the end of the match the toll Kushida took on Walter. So I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get another match out of those two. I'm pretty sure that's good. That's definitely in the books. With that being said, there's some other things I'm going to talk about, but I think I'm going to end it here. The show's running pretty long already. I still have to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. I'll be dropping that one really quick, actually. So, you guys take care. God bless. I'll see you later.
If you like to contact the show or Mr. Savage direct, you can reach him on Twitter at TwistedSavage. You can also contact us on Instagram at the Twisted King Savage and A.W.C.W podcast, or by email awcwpodcast@gmail.com.